Hi. Hey, how's it going? It's Kulprit, and I'm here, and I'm about to do a review. She's texting me again. She's texting me again. First of all, let me apologize for the weird swooshiness in the way I'm being captured on film. I'm a little bit more slow-mo than usual because I have the camera set on low lighting, because if I put it on regular, it will not focus right because of the low lighting in this room, even with this big ceiling fan light on in the next room. In my videos, you guys have seen me in the past rate things with certain inanimate objects based off album concepts, and lately I've just been doing the 1 to 5 star scale in the videos, but I am switching up the rating system starting with this video. One, because I feel a star rating, it's just so hard to rate an album with that, because I do a lot of nitpicking, and there are going to be certain things I love and certain things I hate, and I feel like stars are just too complicated and don't really define an album like they could. So starting now, albums are now going to be rated on a letter grade scale with pluses and minuses. So like you would grade a paper in school, A, B, C, D, or F, and then there's also plus and minus. It's time for a review of the new Double project, Gone EP. It's a full-length project, so I'm kind of confused by the EP part of the title. But whatever, you're the artist, it's your thing. Double is an artist that's based here in the central Oklahoma area. And when I moved here and started doing hip-hop here and started putting out music, there were a couple names that I heard in this area. One was PRP. You had, C3 and Big Dave. And the other name I constantly heard was Double. People ask me, have you worked with Double yet? Are you going to work with Double yet? You need to check out his music. He's the dopest guy around here. And so I was like, okay, there's got to be something to it. So eventually checked some of the Double stuff out. The last project that I downloaded was Painkiller, which I believe came out 2 years ago. And while it wasn't my thing, it's not up my alley as far as that kind of hip hop goes, there were a few tracks on it that I did really enjoy. And it does get replay value every now and then when I'm in the mood for something like that. He's got a nice following. I mean, like, I see people retweeting his no pain movement on Twitter. I know he's got fans. I run into him a lot around town. So he shot me a message, said, can you review this? And I, at least through different people, can't say 100%. He's had an issue with me in the past. I don't know what I did, but well, kind of. But maybe. Anyway, sent me a message and said, can you review this? And I was like, you know what? And I'd already been listening to it beforehand a little bit here and there, but I said, let me sit down, give it a few good listens, and I don't see why I can't review it. But as a reviewer, as a journalist, I got to be honest. And so this is going to be an honest review, as they all are. We've got 10 tracks here, all right? And let me start out with the positives. Let's begin on a good note, okay? Double, he's from Chicago, so obviously he knows about rap. He can flow, okay? He can flow. He's got a good the tone of his voice is good for it, especially with the production style that he chooses. And one of the things that is consistent with this project that I also noticed on Painkiller is the quality. The beats are coming through clear. You hear all the instrumentation. You can hear his voice. You don't have to struggle to try to pick up the vocals or the beat. They're right there, complementing each other. Levels are good, so that's good. The flow's good on most of the tracks. Oh, and the production. The production is just... I know I'd heard and seen on Twitter that I believe Double does dabble in production and does some original production on his own stuff. If he's doing the beats on this project, dude, the one production I listened to and just was like, holy crap, aside from Strangled, was Nocturnal. It's just so smooth. It's just buttery smooth and freaking dope. I don't know if Double's doing the production. If he is, wow. And if he's not, kudos to whoever the producers are that contributed to this mixtape. There's just not enough substance for me. When I listen to a hip-hop album or a mixtape or whatever, a song, I like to be able to I'm not saying it has to be just extremely. I'm not saying you have to be another Kendrick. I'm not saying that you have to be Black Star, or anything like that. But I like the mixtape, hey, to have substance. I enjoy substance, and I felt like there was just a lot of run of the mill topics for hip hop and some recycled stuff, some drug use, some physical relationships with women, some I want to be the best rapper in the city. And it's not that you shouldn't talk about these things, because that is such a huge part of the meat that is hip hop. But let me phrase it this way: I don't feel like I understand who Double is. I understand kind of what he wants, what his goals are, what he's doing, but I'm not getting why he's doing it. You're saying I do drugs to escape everyday life. Okay, well, what about your everyday life makes you want to escape? What are your issues? I want to be the best in my city. I want to be the best in the game. Okay, well, what drives you to want to be the best? Why do you even like hip hop in the first place? Talk about the origins. Talk about tribulations and trials that have led up to this point. And maybe, not that I've listened to every Double project, but I've listened to a couple. Maybe I missed the backstory that leads up to this. I don't know, but there wasn't enough tangible storyline for me in this thing. And being a cracker, maybe it's just me, and being somewhat of a goody two shoes now, and kind of just the goofy white boy. I'll say it. Maybe I just can't relate. I don't do drugs. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't steal guys' girls and then hit it. I just don't. Maybe that's why I'm not getting as much from it as I should be. There's also the Mike Turner feature. I don't know who Mike Turner is, but I did not enjoy that feature. I'm sorry. The Napoleon feature I thought was pretty tolerable. Of course, you've got Big Dave and C3 and Yak, and those guys always do pretty dang good on whatever they're featured on. There's a couple lines on this mixtape that made me kind of roll my eyes. The one that sticks out the most is the one about making a girl dinosaur because you're just so Jurassic. That I literally looked at my speakers and was like, did you just... No. The way Double flowed on Galaxy and the way he flowed on Feast, that's some... I can hear the Chicago influence in there, while still being unique. That is the flow I like. But there's other times where I feel like a beat was not used to its full potential. There's too many gaps in the flow. More lyrics needed to go somewhere. Too many pauses. Too much weight. And the song "Cold Hands," which I am assuming is a freestyle because it was kind of hinted at the beginning of that track. "Cold Hands" could have been cut from this project, and you would still be okay. I'm not saying I can freestyle. Everyone knows I don't. I can't. I won't even go near an attempt at a freestyle. "Cold Hands" was the weakest track on the dang album. So let me sum it up. Let me finish. I'm not hating on this project by any means. I'm not hating on Double by any means. The dude has got skill as an MC. I've heard it before. He can flow. He can stay on top of the beat. He's got a nice tone for it. With this project, though, especially, I was expecting progression from the past projects that I've heard, and I feel like there was no progression. They just kind of stayed in a certain comfort zone. If anything, maybe shifted back just a hair. I just didn't get as much as I thought I was going to get out of this, or I've gotten out of past Double projects. But for me, with the new rating system, taking everything into account, the production, the mixing, the mastering, the flow, the lyrics, the features, blah, 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 even the album art, C-. I mean, that's the rating that I've got and have come up with after 3.5, 4 listens. And that's all I've got to say, So, anything else you guys want me to review, please let me know in the comment section below or on Twitter. It's very easy to find me. But I do encourage people to go listen to this project. You know, especially if you like rap that you can just put on and just vibe to, just kick it. I don't smoke, but I imagine this album, if you rolled one up or whatever the terminology is, and smoke to this might not be that bad to do so with. Anyway,